A lovely good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on the Millennium TV main news. Here are the stories making headlines. Former PF Secretary General DAVIES MWILA freed and rearrested minutes later. Economist calls for implementation of bold and innovative policies to stimulate economic growth. Dr. PULE fights for land, government committed to strengthening media relations. In international news, South African Minister of International Relations tells ties with China ahead of BRICS summit. And in sports, Copper Queens off to SA for 2024 COSAFA meet. I'll be back with the details after this break.
Cool off the hits with great entertainment this October on Top Star for an affordable price of 180 kwacha on Antenna Classic OD Smart. Get ready for El Clasico, the biggest Spanish football showdown. Who will win between the two La Liga giants? Watch Real Madrid and Barcelona when they clash on Saturday, 26 October at 21 hours live on Sports Premium. Make a date now. Also catch the Bundesliga special when Bochum faces Log Leaders Bayern on Sunday 27 at 16:30 hours all live on World Football. There is still plenty. Intrigue yourself with the new romantic Filipino drama series Can't Buy Me Love every day at 20:40 hours on Novela E+. No power? No problem. Catch all football matches and favorite series by downloading the StarTimes app, link your decoder and enjoy watching.
With the news in detail, my name is Lovisa Chilufia. Former Patriotic Front PF Secretary General DAVIES MWILA and his co-accused Anna Mwitwa, a lawyer, have been rearrested after Lusaka Magistrate Court entered a nolle prosequi in a matter they are charged with being in possession of funds valued at over 102 million kwacha, property reasonably suspected of being proceeds of crime. The charge is in relation to the 2021 election campaign funds when the matter came up for continuation of trial before Chief Resident Magistrate Davis Chiwili. State Prosecutor Ms. Mwangala Mwala asked the court for an adjournment on grounds that the witnesses were not before court. However, the court denied to grant them an adjournment, stating that they should bring witnesses without fail. The defense team instead applied for the state to dismiss or close the case if they don't have witnesses. Magistrate Chiwili advised the state to make a decision because he was not going to allow them adjourn the matter. The state, according to instructions, entered a nolle prosequi. In count 1, it is alleged that MWILA and Mwitwa, between January 1st, 2021 and August 31st, 2021 in Lusaka, jointly and whilst acting together with other persons unknown, did possess 102,600,000 kwacha, property reasonably suspected to be in proceeds of crime. In count 2, allegations are that Mwitwa, between the same date in Lusaka, intentionally or negligently failed to report suspicious transactions in the sum of 102,600,000 kwacha to the Financial Intelligence Center.
No, I've got a deal. No, you people should not be. You have intelligence. You are a teacher. No. Think about it. No, I'll never speak up. I think you want to be great on that. No, what the don't push me. Don't push me. Don't push me. Don't push me. I'm the one that talks. I'm going to bring witnesses that what the other me. I'm coming to no. You don't let fuck him and get me. And then you let's go. I am this is now I'm following. No, I'm not going to go down. You can't here and you want me. No, I'm coming. I am coming. No, you are not being professional. No. Well, no, wait. You get me for taking notice. I'm not stolen. I'm not a thief. I'm not a thief.
Economist Calvin Chisanga has called for bold and innovative policy solutions to stimulate growth in the country following Dr. Denny Kalialia's reappointment as Bank of Zambia governor. In a statement avouched to Millennium TV, Mr. Chisanga says the Bank of Zambia must take a sober and measured approach to economic growth and focus on creating policies that benefit all Zambians, not just the privileged few, because only then can we achieve true economic balance and stability. He reveals that while it is positive that the Bank of Zambia has extended Dr. Kalialia's tenure, there is a need for greater transparency and accountability because the central bank plays a crucial role in shaping the country's economic landscape, and it is essential that its decisions are grounded in solid economic rationale and communicated effectively to the public. He says Dr. Kalialia's return is a testament to his integrity, leadership and commitment to economic stability that shows a positive sign for Zambia's financial future. Hence, we hope that his leadership will continue to inspire confidence in our banking system and the wider economy. And Mr. Chisanga says that the fiscal and monetary instruments at the disposal of the Bank of Zambia are powerful tools, but they must be used wisely and with a steady hand. The Economist further asserts that Dr. Kalialia's independence and integrity will be crucial in helping to steer Zambia through these uncertain times, and we must support his efforts to maintain the integrity and independence of our central bank.
The reappointment of Dr. Denny Kalialia is a welcome idea that we need to sustain, consider that at the point where we are, we've got a lot of dramatic events that are taking force, especially when we look at the overall aspect of drought challenge. So it's against this situation that we should be not able to take a different path when it comes to putting somebody who should be able to oversee and look into the aspect of the central government or central bank in this situation. So the appointment, we only believe that should be also able to trigger quite robust policy stimulation, which should be able to sustain and post a growthy, balancing scale from there. At a point where Zambia needs its central bank to actually have that level of soberness, and in Dan Kalialia's disposure of work, we've seen some bit of resiliency, and even when it comes to the aspect of central bank's performance, I think it is a fitting puzzle.
Zambia Free Press Initiative founder Joan Chira has reiterated the importance of promoting gender equality in the media landscape, fostering a culture of inclusive storytelling and improving the quality and diversity of broadcasting in Zambia. Speaking at the showcasing event for the graduation of a third cohort of the Moto 3 Girls Project, Ms. Chira states that the initiative focuses on training young female journalists in investigative journalism. She says the project's goal is to enhance broadcast journalism and provide these women with the skills and confidence needed to advance in the broadcasting industry. She has announced that the third cohort has graduated 14 journalists today after completing an intensive 8-month training program that has provided them with the necessary skills of investigative journalism reporting. Meanwhile, Swedish ambassador to Zambia, Johan Hallenborg, has expressed his support for the project, stating that approximately 35 journalists from across the country have been trained across 3 cohorts. He notes that these initiatives will promote gender equality and strengthen democracy among young people in Zambia.
Television station, specifically that. So we capacity all the necessary skills for producing content for TV and radio. And it's something that we do in a minimum of 8 months. Some of the key things that we do is investigative reporting, how to conduct good interviews, fact-checking, and among the many key topics that one could require for them to successively practice journalism. So the 14 girls that were graduating today are drawn from different radio stations and television stations across the country. So we had 13 today. The 14th one unfortunately could not make it due to circumstances beyond her control. But this is the work that we have been doing for the last 3 years with BBC Media Action with support from the Swedish government.
In total, over 3 cohorts, around 35 young journalists from broadcast media in Zambia have been trained. They come from all over the country. And for me, who likes to travel in the country, I'm also happy to meet many of the radio stations in the country here in the Moto project. So what I see is that young women journalists are empowered with tools and skills to make reporting better and to make broadcast media better.
Opposition Christian Democratic Party President Dan Pule is facing allegations of encroaching on approximately 4 hectares of land in Mwachindalo village in Mungule of Chibombo district. The disputed land, which is titled, is also being claimed by Mr. Regan Njungu, who asserts that he is the rightful owner, having legally acquired it as a customary land following all required procedures. Speaking after giving his official statement at Ngwerere Police, Dr. Pule has clarified that the disputed land was formerly processed by the Ministry of Lands and is on title deeds and not traditional land. He explains that the land initially owned by Gabriel Mumba was leased to former Defense Minister Geoffrey Walyamwamba, GBM, for 14 years and later transferred to Trinity Broadcasting. He says after obtaining the title, Mr. Mwamba sold the land to Nelson Mumba, with Gabriel Mumba holding ownership in 1999 before it was sold to Trinity Broadcasting Network, TBN, chaired by Dr. Pule. Meanwhile, Regan Njingu, who also claims ownership of the land, states that he legally acquired it as customary land from the original owner, Bernard Mwanza, and obtained title deeds. He explains that upon returning in 2023 after traveling abroad in 2018, he discovered a structure on the land, and further investigations revealed that Nelson Mumba had claimed ownership of the property.
In a dramatic turn of events, opposition Christian Democratic Party President Dan Pule is facing allegations of encroaching on approximately 4 hectares of land in Mwachindalo village under Mungule in Chibombo district. The contested land, which has title deed, is also being claimed by Mr. Regan Njingu, who also asserts that he is the legitimate owner, having legally obtained it as customary land in accordance with the necessary procedures. After delivering his official statement at Ngwerere Police, Dr. Pule has clarified that the land in question was officially processed by Ministry of Lands and is documented with title deeds rather than being classified as a traditional land.
The Surveyor General did all the investigations, and in the end, the Land Tribunal ruled that the land belonged to Mr. Nelson Mumba, and it was obtained correctly. My advice is, first of all, this was not traditional land. Although the police have a report from the chief that was written in 2018 that land was legally obtained. But that land was processed, so it was on title. Therefore, the police should investigate this matter properly. They should go to Chibombo Council, who must have done the processing of the title. And secondly, they should...
Meanwhile, Regan Njingu, who also claims ownership of the land, states that he also legally acquired it as customary land from the original owner, Bernard Mwanza, and through that obtained the title deeds.
24 ndipo niyetina bwirapa naso nimumba ndipo nakirolekera ati nirandiyanga piyani nacho sapoti ati ninagura nindiyanga na title deed nilinayo. Kai title deed ni mwamini but kai kumankara kwa mine inachokera title deed inachokera kuti simunga china chipepa sichiziwika kuti ni chinachoka headman mnaenda ta headman msindingana na villagers ndinga na community of land ndinga na community of land ni customary land ni ama headman ile nakuuzani kuti na land nakula kuli headman waniziva kuli bachifa niziva manje imo kuswa kuzwani mugamba tishindingana na villagers nishirandi mnachisupport so wanachita munga watitirimula so naisa sinafune kuvutana iya ndimo tingatengera imata kutoka kuti tata report police.
And Lagison Ntaulo, the secretary of the Mwachindalo village, states that there are no records of Dr. Pule acquiring the land or completing the required customary processes for obtaining it.
Choka hapo kufika mu 2010 the portion ya mene mwaona hapa futi nabo anaigulisa aligani njungu. So after nabagulisa njungu procedure ya manager futi inabatenga banjungu bapereka ku village registration kuba headwoman Mwachindalo. Our current headwoman balipo manje abachita register even vama title ndiye bana bachiteka ndiye procedure. So ni mwamene ililika chemeni ngaonjezepo nikuchitavutika kuno n'abantu babuti land mwiwona we mwine wake uyembekeza kuti nzaka chitrapo benefit ni mwine wa land kweza chema ilo pali mabiko at palitai.
However, Bernard Mwanza Jr., who originally sold the land to Mr. Njingu, had this to say.
And then behind here there is a hand pump that my father sank there. There's a borehole that my father sank there. He even built a house. Even the transformer that is behind there, he contributed with the neighbors around him. Mr. Mumba is not even on that list. Somebody put a list and then mango trees, father planted.
Mavis Msonda, reporting for Millennium TV News.
Government says that it is committed to strengthening bilateral relations in the media industry that exists between Zambia and China through StarTimes, Topstar and ZNBC. Speaking when Topstar Group of Companies chairperson Jing Jinping paid a courtesy call on his office, Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Muitoa says following a successful Topstar board meeting held yesterday in Lusaka, priority among resolutions to be executed is the completion of digital migration, which stands at 90%. Mr. Muitoa says there is urgent need to install equipment which is stored at a warehouse before it becomes absolute, noting that outstanding issues between Topstar and StarTimes should be resolved if they are to serve the Zambian population better.
The government is interested in the completion of some of the provincial studios that are aligned with the digital migration program, and we are aware and wary of the equipment that has to be installed, that is already in place, that is stored in the warehouse in Beijing, and also in the warehouses here in Lusaka, and we would like that equipment to be installed so that it does not become obsolete.
And Topstar Group of Companies chairperson Xi Jinping notes the progress that Zambia has made on the nationwide digital migration project and its completion goals. Mr. Peng adds that Topstar is committed to deliver high quality and affordable content to the Zambian audience, as he acknowledges operational challenges due to the drought and expressed confidence in Topstar's future in the country. He also shares strategies for approximately 3 million kwacha dividend allocation to be used for the growth and shareholder satisfaction.
So we believe that under the leadership of our Honorable Minister, we could deliver 100% completed the project.
也是我们国家，特别是在国际和问题方面合作的一个台。
This project is undoubtedly a flagship project between China and Zambia in the sector of broadcasting and media.
另外也是为了就是双方为了更好的使这个覆盖全国的传输网络发挥它积极的效果，双方促进了合作使得同时。
And the second cooperation between our two sides is the Topstar joint venture company. This company was set up in order to give full play to the nationwide GOVT network.
Now, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, has celebrated the graduation of 30 trainees from the In-Service Applied Veterinary Epidemiology Training (ISAVET) program. In a statement about to Millennium Television, Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock ISAVET coordinator Humphrey Banda says that this highlights the country's dedication to strengthening its veterinary epidemiology capacity, which is particularly crucial amid the ongoing drought impacting livestock health and food security. Mr. Banda notes that their expertise in monitoring and controlling disease outbreaks will be essential for preserving animal health and is vital for ensuring food security and safeguarding public health. Meanwhile, Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock's National Livestock Epidemiology Principal Veterinary Research Officer Liwali Mata says that the graduation not only highlights the enhanced capabilities of veterinary professionals in Zambia, but also strengthens the country's overall health security framework in the face of environmental stresses. Mr. Mata highlights that the program plays a crucial role in strengthening FAO's commitment to building resilient health systems in Zambia. And that is all that we had for you in our local stories. We now take a break. Join us for more in international and sports news. Do not go away.
Good morning, welcome to the Milk Kid Farm.
It's a happy day, let's have some fun. We'll start with the kids to the pretty girls.
And pour the milk,
The flavor's up, and this is how
milk it gets done. Milk It is a milkshake made with love and fun. Milk It! The fun and how we make it. We blend it and we shake it until we get it done.
Hey! Chocolate and vanilla, strawberry and banana, joy in every sip. Milk it!
So when you want a milkshake with taste that you won't forget, go and grab Milk It. Pick your favorite flavor from chocolate, vanilla, strawberry and banana and taste the joy in every sip. Milk It Milkshake, the shake that moves. Trade Kings, improving lives.
Welcome back now with the rest of the news. The South African Minister of International Relations and Cooperation spoke positively about bilateral relations between Moscow and Beijing ahead of the BRICS summit of emerging economies that kicked off on Tuesday in Russia. Ronald Lamola described the relationship between the two nations as based on mutual trust and said that South Africa is open to more investment and collaboration. The BRICS summit will last until October 24th. Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa were initially included in the BRICS alliance. This summit will be the first since the alliance expanded to encompass Egypt, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia and Iran. Commonly referred to as a counterbalance to the Western-led world, the BRICS nations account for around 28% of the global economy.
Not long before the BRICS Summit of Emerging Economies kicked off in Russia, the South African Minister of International Relations and Cooperation spoke positively about bilateral relations between Moscow and Beijing. Ronald Lamola described the relationship between the two nations as based on mutual trust and said that South Africa is open to more investment and collaboration.
relationship of trust, which is mutually beneficial, with the Chinese companies having invested a lot in our country. We are looking at beneficiation in our country, value add in South Africa, and also local manufacturing, which we believe can help drive our economy. And as South Africa is a gateway to the African continent, companies that invest in our country, they also have access to the continent as a whole. So we continue to welcome and invite Chinese companies to continue to invest in South Africa. They found it a very good, friendly business environment which they continue to participate in.
The BRICS summit will last until October the 24th. Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa were initially included in the BRICS alliance. This summit will be the first since the alliance expanded.
And in sports news, an all-local team of the Copper Queens has set off for Kibraha for the 2024 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Women's Championship. Zambia are in Group C alongside Angola and Comoros and will have an Independence Day clash with the Angolans before winding down with the Icelanders. Copper Queens have reached the last four in each of the last 7 editions and were crowned champions in 2022. COSAFA has mandated participating teams to prioritize women coaches for the regional tournament, with Zambia appointing Florence MWILA as to lead the team. The team left aboard Kenya Airways at 09:15 hours.
The girls are ready. The morale is high. You can see how much most of them are excited because it's their first time. I think I would say 90% of the team, we have new players that are going to play at an international stage for the first time. So there's that excitement. Yeah, they're ready. They're ready to perform. The training has been okay. Everybody is prepared, and from the trainings that we've given them, they will deliver. Well, first of all, being one of the senior players that is in the team, and the leadership qualities that she possesses. So far so good. She's leading the team very well, and we have the confidence in her. Our fit squad, everyone is fit, no concerns. Yes. Well, target number 1 and our objective for this outing is that we are identifying players that will be in the senior women's national team. But then we can't leave the fact that we would our eyes are on the crown. So we really prepared ourselves to reach that far in the tournament.
Ends our main news, but before we go, here is a recap of stories making headlines. Former PF Secretary General DAVIES MWILA freed and rearrested minutes later. ECONOMIST calls for implementation of bold and innovative policies to stimulate economic growth. Dr. PULE fights for land, and government committed to strengthening media relations. In international news, South African Minister of International Relations held ties with China ahead of a BRICS summit. And in sports, Copper Queens are off to SA for 2024 COSAFA meet. You have been watching the Millennium TV main news, read by Lovisa Chilufia. Thank you so much for staying with us. On behalf of the entire news crew, it is a lovely evening. Good night.
Excuse me, coming through. Step aside. Hello, good morning.
Caroline, you're not coming with me to go to your sister's tingam?
Do you really want me to be there, Papa?
And I know you can't be happy for me, so you're making all sorts of trouble again. Why would I be surprised? Your mother was a snake.
You're not welcome here.
Come with us. Miss, you okay?
Miss,
Miss, hang on a second.
Kidnap her!
be serious here. Someone's after you, remember? What if something happened to you? What if they caught you, Ling?
Whatever Ling's problem is, even if I don't know how to, I will do what I can. I will help her feel okay. No matter how complicated our lives are right now, one thing's for sure. I love you so much, Caroline Chu.
And I love you too.
I can't be doing nothing. Imagine what it's like for adopted kids like me.
You're adopted?
I saw that good-for-nothing woman! She left us because of money!
This is the knife that killed my mother.
When you left the house, the killer went back in again. I swear we're gonna find that knife.
Maybe if we find out where it went, that can be enough to have my mother's case reopened.
The one in the middle. She was the one who bribed me to write in the report that suicide was the cause of death of Divine Almazan.
This was your plan all along! I'm not doing anything wrong! And you used my little sister too!
He's not that type of person!
She's still his mother! Now we have to make a choice. This family or the two of them! Fate brought us together only so we could end up hurting each other. I believe you, Mom.
Bingo, I thought you despised your mother. What changed? Is it because you now own GLC?
Someone tried to kill me.
That's because you were there when one of them killed Ling's mother.
I just want Andre to be happy.
Ma'am, someone's forcing us to swerve.
What's happening?
I have no idea, ma'am.
You're really blaming my family for what happened to your mother?
Who else is there to blame? I mean, they killed your mother, didn't
We don't
they?
have any
So they
proof
could
of
do that to my mom too!
You're not going to acknowledge the new owner because I have plans of getting GLC back.
That's not something I can do just like that.
We have to do something, Wilson, because this is going to hurt us.
It's the Tanuecos. They agreed to help our family, but on one condition, if she agrees to marry Stephen.
My heart is not for sale. We'll make this work. Right? Bingo! Please, Bingo!
Ling truly loves her family, enough to keep the peace.
Mrs. Caroline Mariano.
Can't buy me love.